Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Lesia, the Preacha. Okay. Mm. um, Throughout my life, of which I am 56 years old, I'm old, y'all. I'm 56. I'm older. Now, for some people, that's not considered old. Throughout my life, for the most part, when people quote unquote break up, now, of course, a lot do. But for the most part, when people break up, that's usually it. But then, many years ago, let's just say maybe about years ago or so, I came across a couple from day one of their marriage, pretty much day one. It was just crazy and toxic. Um, the last I was actively engaged with them, um, it's been a long time. Let's say maybe the year 2015. So it's been 10 years since I've been in touch with this. And back then they were divorced. So the last I knew, they were divorced. But recently I ran into her. Recently I ran into her at the store. Hi, I see someone's in there. Hi. Please click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on your way in. Thank you. So we're at the store recently, and she told me that they were back together, married for the third time, and they were happy. And I was like, what? I mean, I was happy and shocked because I was actively their friend for like 20 years. Out of their out of me, yeah, let's say, I was pretty much active for about 20 years. And let's just say that my marriage supported their marriage. Their marriage was so rocky, 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 rocky. Be cocky enough to say, had my marriage not been there, their marriage would not have made it. I don't want to be that cocky, but we were very, very supportive of that marriage. I'll just put it that way. Their marriage was so rocky till I don't even want to talk about it. It was that bad. If you can think of one of the worst marriages out there, theirs was like in that category. I'll just put it that way. But in the midst of all that chaos, Hopefully, we'll be back soon. Hopefully. Oh, looks like we're back. Okay, we're back live. All right, there. So, yeah, I'll just continue with the story. Again, click like, hit subscribe, the notification bell, please. Thank you so much. Hello. So, anyway, no matter how, crazy their marriage appeared to be, I was so hopeful about it and was so supportive of it. And put way too much effort into somebody else's marriage, then I don't know, then they seem to it at the moment. It was kind of crazy. But anyway, but so she's telling me that they're married and happy, and I'm looking at her like, really? Really? Like all my praying and hope really paid off? My hope for your marriage and all that praying and support and all that paid off? Really? I mean, because they had some crazy days. Crazy days. But I was so determined and hopeful and encouraging, and I don't know why. Usually, you know, a situation like theirs, I would be like, you know what, guys, I understand. You know what I mean? Tap out, will you already? Yeah. But but in their case, I don't know, I just felt like, there was hope. Even though many years went by and it just didn't seem like it, but I don't know. So we ran into each other after about 10 years of not even being in touch. And they're married again for the third time. I'm like, what? They were separated for a while, divorced, for a while. And then she said it was a miracle, God. And when I say, if God can put those two back together, if he can put those two back together, he can put anybody back together. Anybody back together. So, but anyway, I just wanted to, encourage those of you who really feel led by the Lord. I mean, you really in your soul, you know what's true in your heart, mind, in every breath you take. You know what's true for you, and you know what is a lie. You know, each of us as individuals, we know. Eventually, eventually, and so anyway, if the Lord laid on you to restore a marriage, do it. Do it. Even if it seems so impossible. Because remember, you're not just married to that person, you're married to the Lord. Whether you're a man or a woman, you are in a covenant, a marriage with the Lord. And it's not just with that other individual or people or whatever the situation is. The Lord is there. Act like the Lord is looking right at you in this situation, in this marriage. He's looking right at you. Hear everything you say. We need to remember that and act like that while we're in these marriages. So, if Most High put it on your heart, you know, to repent, restoration purposes, do it. Obey him. That's the whole point. It says, a piece of advice you give to your younger self. Amen. Yeah, yeah. That was a comment someone wrote. Yep. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions and notifications. I appreciate it, you guys. But yeah, so, always obey Most High. Always obey. And if there's room for repentance and restoration in your life, take advantage of it. Do it. Especially, like the one commenter said, especially when you're young. You have every opportunity to get things right, to repent. It's not that I'm too old to do it. It's not that I'm too old. It's just that it's too risky for me at this point to be in any marriages or relationships or anything. I was married twice for 32 years. I was legally married for 32 years between two different spouses, and both of those exes are legally married to other people. And I've decided to repent by staying divorced this time. I have two living ex spouses, and I've decided to stay divorced, stay solo. This is, to me, a repentant state to be in. Remain here. And some may disagree with me, and that's okay. It says, good evening, salutations from West Hollywood, California. All right, all right. Hey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I love California. I've been out there quite a few times. Mhm. And I've actually climbed, well, I drove around or up the Hollywood Mountain. And then when I got up as far as I could go in a car, and then, walked up a little bit, as far as you can, Then I took pictures at the top of the Hollywood Mountain. But when I was out there, though, I was up there praying and bringing down strongholds and stuff. Hollywood would change and, and do right by the industry. So, I went up there with a strong purpose. You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you. So yeah, I think I have a picture of me on one of my playlists here on this channel where I'm standing up, on that mountain or whatever. But yeah, so, yeah, it is possible that the Lord can restore marriages, restore families, restore anything in your life that has been lost or, taken away or, for whatever reasons. The Lord can restore. He can. I don't see it in my life, personally, but, I'm not the Lord either. So just because I don't see it, don't mean that the Lord don't see it. Okay. Because whatever he see and tell me to do, to the best of my ability, I am going to obey. Okay. And I believe that I was wrong for divorcing the first time. I believe that sometimes you need to separate from each other. But I believe actual divorce, that's a whole nother thing. And then the second time, he divorced me, which makes sense because I was wrong for divorcing the first time, which means that I should have never been married the second time in the first place. And as a believer, I believe that I had to wait for him to leave me, and that's what happened. So it took 25 years. It was a 25-year marriage. But, I endured, learned a lot of lessons. Whew. I learned that I need to stay my butt divorced because, again, that first husband, he's on wife number three right now. So, and that's the husband that my natural children, biological children, are with. So I call that my covenant husband, the husband of my absolute youth. I was 20 years old, y'all, when I married that man. Okay. Woo, everything was right and super tight. Okay. Woo. But so yeah, I was wrong for divorcing him, and we both have, suffered due to that choice. Um, I mean, he's living his best life. He has a beautiful, wonderful wife, and they got it going on and popping and stuff. So I'm not mad at him at all. Okay, I'm happy for my brother living a good life. I have other issues with him, but that's not what this video is about. The other issues I have right now, I'm hyping him up. And so like I said, the second marriage, was filled filled with lessons, and it should have never taken place, although it lasted 25 years. Um, you know, I was delivered, and by him walking off. So, as a believer, I believe that's how the Lord wanted to handle it, and I learned my lesson, and I know to, uh, stay to myself and focus on my children. I have two beautiful daughters that are, grown, and I have eight beautiful grandchildren. They're all by the same daughter. Eight by one daughter, guys. Isn't that something? And so, life is good. And I'm 56. I'm older. I was married 32 years. So, I'm not like missing out on anything, Praise the Lord. Knock on wood. With some wood. I'm healthy. Don't take medication for anything, just vitamins, vitamin D, stuff like that. So I'm thankful for that. I'm doing well, you know, even though on my channel I share, what I went through, the hard stuff. I share the hard stuff on this channel and don't hold back. But this video is about something else. It's about something good, restoration, repentance, and families getting back together, and generational wealth restored, and hope and love, and just all that goodness that comes with family life. It was restored, guys. And it's possible that some people, some marriages can be rocky, 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 rocky for a long time. But if you don't give up, the Lord will do something with it, make it right one day or something. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just give a hand to a marriage that, endured, all the hard times and ended up together, So, whether it took one, two, three times, hey, they're together. And if she say they're happy, trust and believe it must be some happiness up in that place. But I do remember all the work that my marriage put into it. I remember a lot. Even though my marriage didn't last itself, he's married to somebody else. the work that we put into their marriage. And it's a blessing to see that these people are back together again. Ooh, that was a song, back together again, back in the day. Back together again. Who sung that, guys? Back together again. Oh, I remember Reunited. Was that Peaches and Herb, or was that yeah, Reunited is Peaches and Herb, or is it Ashley and what's the other guy? Simpson, Simpson, Ashley and Simpson, or whatever. Yes, it is awesome. You win in the end. Yes, it is awesome. All things work together for the good of those who love God. Yes, amen. Out of pain comes purpose. Sorry, my sound is fluctuating. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm not going to hold you guys much longer. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the likes, clicks, the subscriptions and everything. But yeah, it's nice when people reunite. It's like, oh, I'll try to sing a little bit. I'm not a singer, but I still like to sing, even though I'm not considered a singer. How does it go? I'll just sing a little bit because I don't remember it all. Remember back in the day, Name That Tune? I was one of those Name Those Tune people. Oh my God. It's like, how many notes can guess it? So it's like, reunited and it feels so good. Reunited and I knew we would. Something like that. That's a really old song. Y'all look it up. I think it's Peaches and Herb, if not Ashford and Simpson, Reunited. All right, guys, you all be blessed. Have a wonderful night. I guess I'll try to get some sleep. And shout out to all those who get back together again. It may not be something I'll ever see in my lifetime, but I'm one of those hopeful romantics. And just because I've never had it, don't mean that I don't wish others do. You all be blessed. And I'm just smiling, thinking about all of those people who have love, especially of those who had to fight to get it. You know, you all be blessed and hold on to each other. And even if my exes are happy embracing whoever they're with, good for you. Good for you. Good for you all. I'm happy for everybody that got somebody. It's a blessing too. All right, guys. Bye.